30 seconds to try a shot and try to win the game.
This is the Notebook Wagering Show on the Wylde Style Network. Here are your hosts, Q, Smitty, Matt, and JKam.
Hey, it's Wednesday night, Notebook Wagering time, live from the Salisbury Center, fueled by Monster Energy. We are going to dive into football all show. We're not wasting time with Major League. We're going right into football. Everyone's excited. I got my man next to me, Q. Welcome back to the studio, my friend. How are you?
Loving it. Didn't have a great week one, but I'm excited to be here, and we're back.
Yeah, my week one was
I had a retirement thought. Thought about retiring early, but
1 week and I'm done.
I talked to the family,
stressful.
and we're back in it. Let's go.
Yeah, I was pissed off for like an hour. My wife's like, what's wrong? I'm like, there's a lot of stress. Western Kentucky can't stop a team. Stop somebody. Luckily, I got that cover. And, you just want to hit one. When you hit the one, you're like, okay, everything's going to be okay. So now I can kind of go forward here and hopefully hit some more. But we got the guys up in Pittsburgh, too. Let's get Matty Nails, because I think he's like a commissioner tonight in fantasy drafts and stuff. He might have to bounce. So what's going on, my friend?
Yeah, double hats wearing tonight. Podcast, squeezed in the gym. Now we got a fantasy draft, last one of the year. I was on Q's retiring train as well. Started out 2-0, went to 2-2 in college, then lost an awesome 8 straight, and then rebounded to finish 9-13 after week 1. So.
Can I, before Jason goes, because I want him to answer this, is it worse going like that, or I should say this, is one of the worst things about gambling when you were on a side early and you're like, I'll give you an example, Miami Hurricanes, they're going to hammer them. And then it's like people you trust are like, I don't know, man, take the Red Hawks, and they just keep chirping you and you take them. And then by like the end of the first quarter, you're like, this is the worst. I'm looking at lost money. I had that happen to me like 3 times in week 1.
Can I jump in real fast? So I'm out golfing with a bunch of guys, and I gave out that game. I'm like, you know what? A bunch of people love this game. I'm going to play it. And they're like, we're on it too. We're finishing up. It's getting dark, and it's not looking good. I'm like, I hope these guys don't hit me with a golf club and just throw me in the woods, because they were a lot bigger than I was and stuff. And
where's Smitty? He didn't make the turn.
I mean, what happened to Smitty? He didn't come home. I was like, come on. I started lying about the score. What's going on? They're up 3. Don't worry about it. We're okay. And I got in my car and I went home. I'm like, they're down 27.
I'm
don't worry
blocking
about
phone
it.
numbers.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So what's going on, Jason? How are you, my friend?
I feel a little heat there about that Miami Ohio play, but I'm good.
That's why I said I answered it.
Yeah, good job, Jason.
It wasn't just you; it was somebody else.
Keel day. I had a little ups and downs there. Miami Ohio clearly never got on the plane or off the bus, or they stayed on South Beach or whatever, because that could have been anybody wearing those uniforms. Like,
for sure.
I made that play because the Hurricanes have no explosiveness, and that's literally every highlight was just 50-yard touchdowns. I was like, okay, that's a loser. That's why we bet responsibly, so we can move on and play more games like Matty did. Get yourself back. But we finished the weekend strong. The Dukies, who I hate supporting, came through for us big time.
Yeah.
And that was a nice way to wrap up the weekend. And LSU Florida State was a really good game. I know it got away at the end, but that was actually really
good for 3
entertaining.
quarters.
Okay, so let's go around the table here.
Just
really
start with
fast.
Jason.
Okay, Jason, why don't you one game that really stood out for you, or a thought that kind of popped out? Like, what did you think? I mean, I got a couple, but let's start with you.
It was the first game of the day, because I didn't see the first half. Really, was TCU Colorado, and then watching that game for a little bit, you're like, "Ooh, Colorado's fast!" Like,
yeah,
and you kind of because you heard the big name guys they got. Like the running back was good, the quarterback, Sanders, the quarterback. We thought he could play this level, and then Travis Hunter, obviously. I don't know if we all thought he'd play 129 plays, but you knew they were good. But they looked really fast. It looks like a team kind of built. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold up against bigger teams.
It's going to be a track meet,
guys. Yeah, but if they can get in track meet games and they can keep Sanders clean, they can be entertaining at least. But TCU looked way more awful. They're kind of getting bailed out by Deion Sanders being so loquacious here with his comments, because TCU was awful. The secondary was awful. The defense was awful. People have said it looked like a continuation of the championship game defensively, and it did. Like they couldn't figure anything out to really slow Colorado down at all. I mean,
lots of. It's kind of funny because the year before, Colorado went up to Boulder and just killed them with big plays, and basically Colorado returned the favor this year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so it was kind of a unique start to the day. Usually those games at 12 o'clock are pretty sleepy, but it was a fun start.
Yeah, that game was back and forth. I had TCU. I thought, and I said it on the show last week. I said it on some other spots that I did. I thought that game was going to be, I thought it was going to be a high scoring game. Maybe the over was the play. Maybe that's where I kind of missed it, but they just couldn't stop. I agree. Okay, Matty, what's one game or one thought that kind of jumped out for you?
I'm going to have to send out an apology to you and your friends, the Sharp Angle Syndicate guys, Mr. Ryan Hyatt,
Uh-oh.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas
Nice.
Tech.
Go to Laramie, leading 17-0, and you lose, and you were 14-point favorites.
Yeah.
That is no good. Now, the question is it a rebound week for the Red Raiders? And are they going to cover this week? So I think that's the way to look. I think they do rebound. I think they can get the cover this week. But that was a horrible performance out of the gate for Texas Tech. That win total could be trouble now for them.
Yeah, I like that team too. We'll try to talk about that game here in a second. All right, Q, what's something that stood out that just was like shocking to you, or a game, or
My Gators lost. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Obviously,
he was giving me a look there. I was like, what's he coming up with? Like, he's giving me like, am I missing something?
I would say this. I'm going to kind of generally speak here because you guys kind of alluded to it in more specific examples. I think it was just lack of preparedness, the mental mistakes, or the lackadaisical play in week one. Just in a generality. I mean, TCU looked brutal. Texas Tech looked brutal. Florida had mental mistakes. I mean, there was plenty of others, and you just sit there and you're like, look, I get a couple, maybe the first quarter, you have some live reps where you have maybe a illegal formation or something, clean it up, maybe an antsy first start, false start, but it just seemed like guys just weren't prepared for week one. I mean, they just kind of sleptwalk into some of these games, whether they were favorites, just sloppy game like Clemson. I mean, obviously, I think we're going to see some of these teams. It's going to go from just a lazy week one to, hey, maybe they're not that good. But I don't know. I just saw a lack of preparedness or a lack of mental toughness, a lack of, just skill set in week that I thought maybe some of these better teams or some of these more prolific teams would have shown.
All right, my game was, Jason hit on it. It was Duke handling Clemson.
Yeah.
I stayed off the game. I didn't have a bet. There was a lot of conversation going back with all of us. Matt Grissom, our good buddy. That game I just couldn't get a good read on, but that's a Clemson team. What's changed? What's changed in that team? You brought in Riley, the new offensive coordinator. You got Klubnik, that quarterback last year. DJ, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, went out to Oregon State. I have him in one of my fantasy teams. He blew up, looked great, looked like he could push the ball down the field. Now, I know it was San Jose State, but the line gave him time to push the ball down the field, and he did. He ran the ball. They scored. What's changed with this Clemson team? I didn't see anything.
I think the public alluded to it. He doesn't hit the portal.
Absolutely. I just said that to my dad. My dad asked me, and I said, here's a guy that just has an idea in his brain, and he's like, I'm not bringing in transfers. I don't like the NIL stuff. Well, you're missing it. You're missing it. Everybody else is doing it, and you can stand up for your opinion, but you're missing it. And you got to get the ball to Shipley more. The other running back's not a bad running back. I'm not trying to say, but down at the goal line, I thought, and
they used him in between the 20s. Great.
And I was worried because Dr. Brent had Shipley in a fantasy, and I'm like, don't get a touchdown. Give it to, I'm like, oh, thank you. Get it to that guy. Fumble, great. Get it back out of there. I couldn't believe they didn't get the ball more to him. Yeah. I don't see a change in Clemson. I'm not saying their season's done.
It's done.
It's okay. Q's saying it's done.
I mean, they're going to lose to Florida State. It's done.
Well, yeah. I mean, Q texted me that early, and he's like, man, Clemson's going to get crushed. I'm like, well, let's see what Clemson does Monday night. I think this was Monday morning. Well, it wasn't good. So that's my thought on week one. Clemson, I'm not sure what's happening here with Clemson. So, yes.
I still think they have dudes, though. Like, you looked at that D-line, and, like, Duke had issues with them, and they could run the ball whenever they wanted. They just didn't do it. They were too busy trying to throw screen passes. Like, Like that still is a really talented football team. It's just really poorly coached. And like, this is 3 years now in a row where you look at the coordinators and you wonder what players you call. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to make people happy so they don't transfer out? But like, I don't think the portal's hit them yet, but it's about to, because like I said, they're gonna have more defections in this offseason the way this is going.
Well, he was the guy that everybody thought he was going to go to Alabama when Saban retired. Well, he better worry about just keeping his job at Clemson.
Yeah.
I want to add one thing. I don't think Shipley's a really good player. Klubnik's a really good player. Jason nailed it. The defense actually played pretty well.
Yeah, I thought so.
They got great pressure, but I think their biggest problem is they have no playmakers. Look at the last decade, and their wide receivers were all studs. Justin Ross, Williams. I mean, there's a long list.
Who would be even considered their best?
I don't know. That's
the thing. Is there's not one name sticking out, and that's specifically to your point.
But they recruited well there, so that's what's really disappointing. They have talent there. They just no one's breaking
through.
Now, if off the top of my head, and I said this to Q, if I'm correct, Florida State does have to go to Clemson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
what we just saw, I don't think it matters.
Well, it's tough. You know, you don't want to look at 1 week and go, okay, this team's good, this team's bad. They're going to change. They're going to prepare. There's going to be injuries. Guys are going to step up. So I'm not giving up on Clemson, but man, it seemed like everybody thought they were going to throw a lot of points on the board. And
I thought it.
I kind of did too. I mean, if you said Smitty take a bet, I would have taken Clemson in that game. I just stayed off the game. So, all right, hey, let's
move on to week 2.
Yeah, let's bounce some games here really quick. We're going to try to give out just a couple predictions, some thoughts on some of the key games, and then if we have any other leans, and if you're watching live, if you have a lean or a game, please send it to our producer. We'd love to get it on the air. All right, Nebraska, Colorado. Here we go. This is the most talked about game you would have thought, of all time. So what's going to happen here? I mean, I'll give a quick thing. This is weird to me because it's two teams that have different styles here. Nebraska only ran 59 plays. Colorado did in the 80s. So you got Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator from Kent State. We talked about it. They're going to speed it up. This place is going to be electric. Spring game was sold out. Tickets are going for between 300 and 400. Can Nebraska get this game? Can they at least cover? Let's go to Matty because he might have to bounce here. Matty, what's your overall thought on this?
Heck no. No.
Heck no.
I think it'll still be actually like I wasn't. If you listen to our other shows, none of us were on Colorado to get their over win total. And if they did, it was probably going to be 4 games. Now we're looking at doubling that. I mean, this is a 6-7 win team. So Nebraska, who was lackluster minus the quarterback week 1, has to go to Boulder, where it's going to be absolutely maybe the most electric game you're going to see in that stadium in 15 years. And Sanders is actually legit at quarterback. They have talent all over. It's going to be probably warm, and the altitude. I think this is an easy bet. I think this goes up. Probably Jason said it maybe, I think, on a text that it probably goes to like 5. I got a -3, and I'm happy with it. And I think the whole nation's on it.
Oh, if it's 5, I'm taking Nebraska.
I don't see how you can.
I think it's capped out. I think we're here. Like 3.5 is the highest it's going, and I see it's starting to come back now. So people are taking Nebraska at 3.5.
I just can't see why you would take.
But
Nebraska.
This is one of those when you think it's too good to be true. There's always something that's crazy.
Fair.
The defense wasn't good for Colorado. Now, I get it.
Not at all.
I know where you're going to go, and let's go to you next because I know where you're going to go.
Well, I agree with you. I think Nebraska will score more, obviously, than they did in week 1. I think they'll work some kinks out and be able to score against Colorado. But when I look at the game that I watched, Minnesota's nothing to write home about. They looked even worse than last year, and last year they were pedestrian at best. And you couldn't do anything. You had second-half adjustments that could have been made, and you still couldn't do anything. Now you're going to go into a rowdy environment, probably the best crowd since Cordell Stewart was there. Matty said it. Sanders seems to be legit. There's no FCS to FBS kind of lag, if you will say. Travis Hunter, easily one of the best players in the country, playing both ways. I mean, how often does that happen? The other Sanders is a decent cornerback. Like, I'm not saying they're going to stop Nebraska and hold them to 10 points, but my God, I don't see how they keep it within 7 personally. I mean, there's no way Nebraska's going to stop this team. And especially in the crowd, that place, like Matt said, it's going to be hot. The fans are going to be hyped. Now, I do think there's going to be slight regression at some point in this season. But
you just don't think it's week 2.
I don't think it's week 2 because you took a game on the road to then now bring all that momentum back to a excited atmosphere. And you've got guys, the public still says Nebraska has a 59% chance to win. He's going to hang that up. Y'all beat TCU in TCU, and they still think you're going to lose. I mean, this guy is a motivator, and he's going to have that team ready.
Great point.
I think this is a lock.
All right, Jason, go for it.
See, I'm on the opposite side. I already took Nebraska to the 3.5 because
I love it.
this is going to be a terrible week of practice for Colorado because you have a bunch of transfers that come in and think this is too easy. Like
Sure.
this is the way it was. He told us it's everything we
Sure.
thought it was going to be. You had Nebraska who went on the road last week. I agree. Minnesota is not TCU, but still, you go to on the road in conference against technically kind of a rival. Nebraska was a better team for most of that game, and obviously they put on points up.
I do think
they should have won the game, right? They went to Nebraska.
They fumbled, and it got crazy at the end.
If you look at that Colorado defense, they're a little soft, they're a little undersized up front.
Sure.
Nebraska wants to get back to playing Cornhusker football. I'm just saying, like, there are things there where you can see Nebraska making this ugly. You know, maybe they can play off the crowd being as crazy because it is going to be an environment. But those kids, you know, they came to Nebraska to play in front of 100,000 people.
For sure.
48,000 people making noise is not going to intimidate them. I'm just saying that's where I see this. No, Sanders is legitimate. And plus, Hunter, who knows what he's going to be worth this week? 129 plays in that heat in Dallas. Fort Worth area is insane.
Yeah, let's see.
Like, you have to monitor that.
Yeah, but
that
I will say this. He did it in
before.
Jackson State. He did it down there, and that's a nasty area.
No, that's true. Mississippi, I'll give you that. I'm just saying, but that's where you kind of wonder where that's all at.
So then maybe we just...
I just think it's going to be a tough week of practice to kind of convince those kids, like, hey, got to stay on the schedule, got to keep doing all the things we've been doing, because they're everywhere. Like, Paul Feinbaum, that's an SEC show, and they talked about Colorado every single call when I went to go pick up our dinner tonight. It was insane. There was Auburn people making fun of Colorado because they're like, yeah, we didn't want Sanders. And, like, it was like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, that's how much, like, that game is, like, played nationally. So he's worth every penny and a higher. You have a program that was dead, and now, like, they're on everybody's mouth. Like, you constantly talking about Colorado Buffalo football, which is, like, what, since the 90s?
Would you go over 58.5 then, Jason, to end your segment?
Well, no, because if I'm betting Nebraska, it's an under. But if I'm thinking Colorado, I would.
I think it's an under.
But if you have Colorado, it's an over.
Yeah.
You know, they held their defense. Their defense held. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Matt.
I just want to pose one question. So you guys obviously watched the Nebraska game.
Yeah.
I'm on Q's side here, and I just want to point out how on earth can slow-footed Nebraska stop this team?
They can't.
It was ground and pound. No,
but they couldn't. The only ground and pound they did against Minnesota was the quarterback.
I thought their secondary looked okay in the game. Now it's Minnesota.
Yeah, but are they going to keep up speed-wise with Colorado's offense?
That's the question.
I don't think
absolutely. But I think Jason just said where I'm thinking. They got to run the ball.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Nebraska's
going to run the ball. They got to slow it down. They got to make this game ugly.
Sure.
You know, they can't. Sims, the quarterback, can't throw 3 picks. They had 4 turnovers in that game. He can run the ball. I think he had 90-something yards. He has to run the ball. The running backs have to run. They have to slow this down. They have to have Colorado make some mistakes.
Well, they did force Morrison to 2 picks, though.
They did.
One in the end zone.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that was, and the announcer was making it sound like that guy came out of nowhere, and I'm like, the guy was right next to him
in his vision the whole time.
You know, real quick, I watched so many games this week. The announcing was brutal. I think Gus Johnson, somebody missed a kick, and he's like an incomplete or something, incomplete kick or
he was
interception.
In the Minnesota game, it was easily made, and he's like saying he missed it. And I didn't get it.
Somebody else said it was like incomplete kick, and I'm like, incomplete kick? Is that something new that I haven't picked up on, or what? I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. So, no, I mean this game.
Fowler missed one, didn't he? In the Florida game, I thought Fowler missed one. That
he called it good, and it missed by like a foot and a half to the left.
They were sloppy. It was week 1 for them too. It was week 1. So hey, okay, so we're a little different here. You know, I'm a pass right now. I have not taken this game. I don't think I'm going to sit back and really enjoy this game. But if I had to, especially if it goes a little bit more, I think I'm taking a chance with Nebraska. So, okay, let's bounce here. We got Texas, Alabama. That's a big one. -7, I believe, if that has not changed. Matty, I'm going to come to you again because we might lose you here in a little bit. I know you're high on this Alabama team on our SEC show. You were extremely high. You think they're going to go very far this year. Texas took a little bit against Rice last week.
Yeah.
Little slow. Bama seems like Bama seems back to, like Matt said, play a little bully ball, run the ball, quarterback runs the ball. Is this just going to be a slower game, Matt? I kind of looking at some people like the over in this. I was kind of thinking about the under. What's your thoughts on this game?
I don't know about an over-under yet, but I do like Bama to cover. I think it'll be out of the gate quick until they figure out, hey, what kind of offense? Because I don't think either team probably showed too much last week. I mean, it wasn't necessary. However, though, Bama did show that they may have found a quarterback, not their typical drop-back passer quarterback, but more of a run-first quarterback. And he played really well. And I think he went like 13 of 16 through the air, too. So
yeah.
I think they have the edge. Now, it's going to be intriguing because Texas does have a ton of weapons, and we didn't see Bama's best defense. I mean, Xavier Worthy's really good. The two running backs are really good. Quinn Ewers has to play better, though, and I think that's where the key is. I think Bama's going to get enough pressure on him, and he's going to maybe throw one or two picks, and I think that'll be the difference. I think Bama will cover, but I think it might be a late cover, kind of a backdoor type thing.
Okay, so it's over under 54.5. I actually lean the under because last year they played so tight for so long. What was the final score? It was like 14-13 or something like that. Very, very tight game.
I don't remember the score.
Yeah, it was really low. Obviously, Quinn Ewers went out with an injury.
14, I want to say.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah, Texas really had him.
But yeah.
Texas had him in trouble, and then I think he broke his collarbone.
Broke his collarbone, I think, mid-second quarter, but I think it's going to kind of be the same game because Texas has the same team. Now, obviously, Alabama, you could probably say regressed in terms of talent, but they played really well last week. I think they're playing maybe not so much of like talent football, but like he said, nose down bully football. And I think that could hurt Texas. I mean, we've seen like when Texas went up against Arkansas 2 years ago and Arkansas was playing bully ball, they got manhandled. And obviously that's comparing two different teams, Arkansas to Alabama, but I think Alabama's way more talented than Arkansas. They have the recipe how to beat them. Punch them in the mouth, and Texas usually never has an answer for that. So I think it could be another Alabama cover late, like Matt says, but I think it's the under, too. Because I don't think Bama's going to hang 50 on anybody this year.
I don't either. And Texas got in trouble last year when he threw on them. And I don't see this Bama team really doing that. Like they seem a little more ground-focused this year as opposed to the SEC. But, yeah, Texas on the road is a little more scary than Bama on the road, right? Like that's the one thing I'll give Saban credit for. Even when they're not good, it's a business trip, right? And they always handle their business no matter where they play. Texas hasn't, they stubbed their toe. They're still an 8-5 team last year. Like, they kind of need to take that step up. But this is a huge game for them. And it looked last week like a game where they didn't prepare for Rice at all. And it was all Bama, leading in.
Yeah.
And kind of that performance was. So we'll see. But, yeah, I'm leaning Bama as well. I do think it'll be low scoring. He says 7's a lot. Says a little bit. So I'm probably leaning under, which I hate in college. But I do think it'll probably be an under game and maybe the 7.
All right, let's do this because we got NFL to break down too here. So I'm going to throw a couple games out to you guys. And I'll try to do the best. I don't have updated lines right now in my notebook I have from the other day. But let's just start Texas A&M, Miami. Last time I saw it, and somebody jump in if you're on something here, Jason or Q, and throw it out here. Let's just go where you're leaning here. If you had to bet it, Texas A&M, my last thing's -4.5 against Miami. Matty, I'm going to start with you. Really fast. Let's try to do rapid fire here. Which direction are you going to go here?
A&M.
A&M. Okay, Q.
I'd go the same.
Yeah, I like that A&M team. They look good. Jason.
I think they're good.
I'll take Canes with the points.
Oh, man. Jason's I love it, Jason. And he's going against.
I just don't trust Van Dyke.
Seemed a little
I don't trust either team. Like these are two teams I both give me trouble. So it's funny.
I'll throw one thing in. Miami's home field advantage is crap.
Yeah,
there's no
point. Yeah, great point, Matt. Yep.
Looks like a Rays game.
Humidity. Yeah, the heat and humidity is not a factor because it's just as bad in College Station right now.
It does.
Absolutely.
That was a good one.
It's
like
comparable.
All right, I'm on Texas A&M too. Okay, Matty brought this game up. Oregon travels into Lubbock, Texas Tech. I don't know the line, so somebody, I don't know where it is. 7. Okay, minus.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Minus
Between 6
down
and
to 6.5 now.
Yeah.
6.5.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go right back. We're going to start with Matty again. Matty, what do you got in this one?
Pay for the 7, grab that extra hook, but Texas Tech to cover. I mean, on paper, this is the typical shootout over game, but I'm not going to touch it. But go with the Red Raiders. Bless you, Ryan Hines.
All right, Jason. Where are you?
I'm agreed. Get the guns up. I think it's a perfect situation with Oregon played nobody. Texas Tech proved it better last week.
All right, Q. Where are we going here?
Yeah, I don't trust Bo Nix. I like it.
I know.
I don't like that we're all on it, though.
I think I'm the only one
Nope,
that likes
don't like
Bo
that at
Nix. I think I'm
you also like Joe Milton, too, so.
I do like Joe
Discredited.
Milton, so, hey, he looked okay. It was against Virginia, though.
Well,
so, hey, I'm going to go Texas Tech, too. I said it on our preview show. I think it's a tough environment. They're coming down. Texas Tech, tough loss. Oregon threw a ton of points on Portland State. I think this one's going to be tough. Really, Ryan said it the other day, the heat is going to be there. I think it's a tough atmosphere. I think they come really back. The atmosphere is going to be great. I think Texas Tech beats them. All right. Hey, let's go Iowa State, Iowa. These guys, I heard these guys are going to be trying to figure out lines and betting here during halftime here. But what do we got here? Hey, I think Iowa was not. They jumped out quick. 14,
well, I would give the edge to Iowa.
And they pushed the ball down the field. Then it kind of stalled a little bit in that game. I like Iowa.
Imagine that.
Well, it kind of happens.
I mean, it's in Iowa. You got the better quarterback.
It happens in that a little bit.
Or no, it's in Iowa State. I'm sorry.
I still like Iowa in this. I think this one's going to be really tight, though. These games are always really tight and low scoring, but I like Iowa in this game. I'd say they cover.
Over-under is 35.5.
35.
I think the biggest question is who's the quarterback for Iowa? Because if
I don't think Deckers is. Yeah, for Iowa, yeah.
No, because they had to put a backup last week, which is kind of they still scored some points to know how bad that guy is. So
for who?
Yeah,
Iowa played with McNamara.
No, McNamara played.
Yeah, he played.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
no,
okay.
McNamara played. He played, and he actually threw the ball down the field. The wide receivers didn't really help him out.
I think it was a tune-up.
He looked okay.
I'm going to go under 36. That's going to be my pick in that game.
All right, Matty, pick on the Iowa game. That's probably a smart play.
Last year was 10-7. Iowa State. But give me Iowa State in the points this year.
That's I like that's a JV Monday Night Football atmosphere. You just hear the band in the back.
Iowa State. Who do they have?
I don't know.
I lean the under.
A whole lot.
Iowa can't cover anything. I don't think they're going to cover this. I think this is a field goal game.
All right, last game here. Then we'll do any leans around the table, and then we'll hit the NFL here. Notre Dame traveling into NC State.
I actually think I'm going to go first. I think Notre State actually kind of hammers them. I think that Notre Dame team's legit.
You think Notre Dame blows out NC State? Okay.
Yeah, even though they have Brennan Armstrong, I look at the defense for NC State. They just don't have many weapons per se. Estemi, Hartman, this could be the year Notre Dame makes it back to the championship. I think they got a real quarterback, strong defense. I think they'll be able to contain Armstrong.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
14-point win.
The NC State's another team I do not like to bet, but you're getting 7.5 at home. I don't know. I kind of agree with you here. Notre Dame is pretty strong. They don't have any receivers, but they may not need any. And NC State did not look great against UConn. They looked a little vulnerable and didn't look so good. So give me the Irish.
All right, Matty.
I'm staying away. I'm not going to touch this one.
Okay, just throw it out. You don't have to bet it. Throw out something. Come on.
Take my money. What do you do with my money?
Yeah, if you have
Give
Jason. Jason just lost some money. He gave it to you. What are you doing here?
I give him the points.
Give me the points in NC State.
Okay. I was leaning the under. I think NC State needs to make this a very slow game. Run Armstrong a ton. Just pound the ball. Slow this down. I agree with Q. But here's the only thing. I agree with Q. I think Notre Dame is a good team. But who have they played?
Well,
they played Navy. No, and nothing against them. It's their schedule.
You could say about NC State struggling against Jim Moore's UConn.
Well, UConn wasn't bad last year, but absolutely you could. But they beat Navy, a team that can't throw a ball at all. And then they played who? Tennessee State?
Yeah.
Now again, I listen, I'm leaning with Q. I love the quarterback. I think the kid's a stud. I love the running back. I think it's a good program. I think Notre Dame's going to be good. I'm just saying, you never know. I hope I saw some people are on the over on this. I'm leaning more the under in this. I think NC State needs to keep this lower scoring. I might actually play this game, but I only have one play. All right, really quick, let's zip around. Any leans, any plays locked in for week 2? Jason, we'll start with you. Anything so far?
I like Washington State getting 6.5 at home against the Badgers with their newfangled air raid offense. I want to see it against a real team. They kind of got a sleepwalk there against Buffalo in a pretty boring game.
Yeah.
I also kind of like UMass getting the 7 against Miami of Ohio, who looked awful down in South Florida, and Northwestern plus 1.5
at home.
UTEP is favored. They have not beat a Power 5 team since 1967. Come on now. I mean, I know Northwestern's bad, but they're not this bad. I think the Rutgers defense is actually pretty good. Their offense is terrible, but I think the Wildcats come out with a W here.
All right, Matty.
Great segue. I'll lead off. Rutgers -9, laying it.
Little Shiano ball.
Yep.
And then I have 4 others real quick, and then I'm going to dip and let you guys handle the NFL. I have Wake locked in -10, Colorado -3, Rutgers -9, Cal getting 7 at home, and Boise getting 4. Those are my plays so far.
Who's Cal playing? Cal's playing
Auburn. War Eagles.
That's right, Auburn. Yeah. That's right.
Cal pounded the ball against North Texas, man.
They beat them. They beat them bad.
Yeah, I played North Texas. I was way off on that one. All right, Matty, thank you for the info. Do a great job as the commissioner. Run a great league.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
It's going to be a rough night.
All right.
See you,
buddy. Thank you, man. All right, Q. Leans, plays. What do you got?
I've already locked in Buffalo -3. I like UTSA to bounce back. I'm sorry, Colorado -3. The Buffaloes, that's what I meant.
I was like, who's that NFL already?
I like it a lot. I love it. It might be a mortgage play. We'll see. I'm 4-2. Relax. I got more mortgage wins.
He has more houses.
I got more houses. Don't worry
about it. Everything.
But I got Colorado -3. I actually have an alternate line of Kansas -2.5. I like Jalen Daniels. I like what the program's going there. I think Bielema's a good coach over there at Illinois, but I just think being in Kansas's home, I don't even know.
You get Daniels back too.
Yeah, you get Daniels back. I don't even know, I guess, what part of Kansas they're in, but
Lawrence,
that's right. I did know that. I like them at home. You get your starting quarterback back. He led you to a 5-0 start last year. I think they cover that within 3. And then I'm on UTSA. I think they bounce back. Their quarterback, Harris, 3 picks. It's just so unorthodox of them, but they have Cephas. They got a great running back, another good receiver. I'm blanking on his name. But I think they bounce back and they handle the game pretty easily.
All right, I'm locked in on one. I gave out on another spot I said Fresno was going to go in and beat Purdue, and that did happen. So I'm right back there. I like Virginia Tech this week, money line. I'm locked in on that game. I think they beat Purdue. Purdue they scored a lot. They gave up a lot.
Is that a home game?
That's a home game for Virginia Tech. I'm not a big fan of Virginia Tech.
But they'll get up for that game.
I think they will too. I like the money line. I locked that in. I'm right with Q. UTSA. I lost last week against them. Harris did not play well. I think they bounce back. I really like that team. I'm going to look for team points again. I played Texas A&M last week against New Mexico, and they covered it.
Yep.
I'm going to look again. Teams to look for. USC, man, they throw points. I think they've scored 60, 55 this year. I think it's at 50 right now against Stanford. I know it's a conference game, but that's a game that they want this kid to win the Heisman.
They're padding stats.
Bottom line. They want this. This hasn't happened since the 70s. They want this kid. Could they get it? Another team, Washington. Keep an eye on them. They throw a lot of points up too, man. Penix Jr. is good. They got good wide receivers.
Yeah.
I think Michigan, they didn't cover. I think they're going to.
They look sloppy
a little bit. They were okay. I thought in the game. I think they're going to score more points in this. UNLV. I think they might lay it on UNLV. I'd look at their team points. And one last one team is Arkansas. They play Kent State. Kent State's really bad. UCF had over 724 yards in the game. I think we've said it. Their coach has never been a coordinator. Just kind of got the position. They're bad. Can Arkansas really lay it on them? I'd look at – so those are 3 teams I'm looking 4 teams. I'm looking for team points. But right now, I'm going to add more plays, but that's where I have right now. So we'll go from there. All right, NFL time. We got a little bit of time here. Let's bust in the NFL. We're going to give out plays here, too. We got a game tomorrow night, fellas. Thursday night. We got Detroit Lions heading into Kansas City. Big news is Kelsey, little nicked up knee.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be going here in this. You got Jones on the defense. It's holding out right now. Right now, it's a pass for me. I mean, I'll give an opinion on the show if you want to play, because, I mean, by tomorrow night, I'm probably going to play it. Q, let's start with you. I mean, it's Thursday night. We don't have Friends and Seinfeld on anymore on Thursday night, so there's nothing else to do. So, Q, where are we going here? I think it's, last time I saw it on Scores and Odds, it's -5.5, 52.5.
4.5.
Oh, 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me write that down if you guys see something different here. 4.5. Where are you going here, Q?
I mean, you got to go with Kansas City until they don't win. I mean, -4.5, you're getting within a touchdown. Yes, I know Detroit's offense looked better. They obviously got Jahmyr Gibbs, who's supposed to be a stud. It's primetime football in Kansas City. They live for this. I'm with Dr. Brent. I don't see how in the world you don't lay anything under 7 with Kansas City. I mean, look at the weapons. They just mow them out. They've got McKinnon, Pacheco. You know, obviously if Kelsey's not there, that hurts him a little bit. But then Scantling, Sky Moore, who, you know, kind of turned it on in the playoffs.
I think Tony's going to try to play.
Tony's trying to play. Like, they're so fast. Everybody.
I don't know how long he's going to play.
Skater great. Don't worry about it.
I don't know how long he's
always trying to play.
So that's what we need to say every week, man. You know, he's the new Tin Man on the show. Like, with that, we're going to go not Curtis Samuels anymore. We'll go Tony.
All those guys are good when they're on the field. They're healthy and everything.
What a great band, too.
I don't see it for the Lions. I mean, maybe if this game was week 5 or 6, but to play it in an amped up crowd week 1, everybody's excited to get football back. I just see at least a 7-point win.
Okay, Jason, where are we going here?
I really thought it was a lot easier than 6. I like the Lions with the 6 because they will be able to run the football. Jones is the key to that whole defense. Like, that's the one thing that's missing there. They really don't have anything that replaces him to kind of shore up the inside. They're a little small linebacker and in the secondary, so they can get run on. And the Lions can kind of shorten the game. Both these teams kind of play slow to begin with, so possessions could be fewer. That total of 52.5 they're still so efficient, though. They're going to be able to get that. But a 4.5, I'm leaning Lions, but it's a lot harder. I really wish they had the 6. But I think Kelsey being dinged up, though, is a big factor there, though, because he's kind of their possession receiver. Like, a lot of those guys you mentioned are all explosion guys. So, like, they kind of lose their track of their offense when he's out.
Do you want to
Daddy Kelsey by our girl Jess? I like it.
All right, there we go.
Well, she might have to help him with his ailments tomorrow. He's just got to ice the knee down.
Got to ice it. See.
I don't think she would turn it down. I think she would be right there if he asked for help.
No.
I'd probably be right there.
Yeah. So, you know, here's the thing.
Listen, he's a smooth guy.
Here's the thing with this game. I've said it. They can't stop the run. They couldn't stop the run last year. With Jones not being there, it's a big thing. Do I think Detroit's going to win the game? I'm not sure Detroit's going to win the game. You know me, I'm the teaser king, especially in the NFL. Great spot to do teasers is the NFL. If you like teasers, this is the sport to do this. I don't know, guys. I just think this is a good spot if you want to tease up the Lions in this game. I have a good stat from Josh Applebaum that's on VSiN. I'm going to do it at the very end before we sign off. I got a couple numbers here from some people that we really like. I'm going to give a little shout out here. I would do a teaser play with the Lions in this. And I think the Lions have to run the ball here. I think they have to slow it down. I know they score points. I know their defense is bad, but I think they have to try to run the ball and slow this down a little bit. It is the first game. Maybe a first half under?
I could see that.
I like that. All right. So everybody enjoy that game tomorrow night. I'm just going to bounce around, guys. If there's a game that I miss,
well, let's cover the Commanders since it's the local.
Well, I was going to go there.
All right.
I was going to go there. I was going to do it last because I just don't like them that much. But okay, we're going to do it last. Okay, let's go to the Commanders here. You got Arizona coming in against the
They just named a starter.
Commanders. Is it Josh Dobbs?
It's Joshua Dobbs.
Joshua Dobbs, old Pittsburgh Steeler guy.
Guy was golfing last week. And now he's a quarterback.
He's probably at NASA. He was probably at NASA last week doing something at NASA.
He was the backup quarterback for the Browns last week.
He was golfing. He was golfing.
Oh, yeah.
He had no shot against Deshaun.
All right, here we go. He's been on Steelers, I think the Browns a couple times. He went into Tennessee last year, played the playoff game last year, and now we are here. So we got Cardinals coming in, which, I mean, hey, listen, let's break this down. They're going to be the worst team in football if nothing. I mean, this team's bad. This team looks like an NBA team that's sitting guys out on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, back to back.
Commanders are a little banged up, though.
Oh, okay. Throw that out real quick.
banged up a little bit. He's questionable with the toe injury. He'll probably play. Obviously, Curtis Samuel's always nicked up. You know, Chase Young's not playing. Not that, I mean, he's on the injury report, but I don't think it matters. He never plays for him anyways.
There's Tony.
Yeah, kind of. But I don't see how you don't. I don't see
how
you
know what I'm going to give Q for Christmas? A Chase Young football jersey. I can't wait. You got to wear it. You got to wear it.
Only if you wear a Heineke Falcons jersey.
He'll probably wear more than Chase does.
I would wear Heineke.
I don't see how you don't lay Washington. I have a -6.5. I mean, I think they could win by 10 plus. I know it's for Washington. They typically don't blow teams out, but God, I mean, it's already blatantly. They've already said Arizona wants to lose every game without saying it.
Well, did you see real quick? Then we'll go to Jason. Did you see Williams out of USC? His dad came out and said, if we don't like the spot, he's going back to college.
Why would you want to go to Arizona?
Now, is that going to happen? I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, I know you're getting paid now in college, and you're getting paid okay. But if you can get out of college and go to the pros, and the team can change. I mean, they can change, but I thought that was an interesting comment today. Because
he's got the Wendy's commercial. He's got a bunch of,
he's not broke. LA. There's no way he's
broke. Arizona, just when they make their moves, they're dumb. So, I wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah, was it their first? I think their last 4 first-round draft choices are already off the roster.
Yeah.
Or they've all switched positions. There was some crazy stat about that.
They're kind of like the old Chargers.
Well, I never liked the quarterback anyway, so I got, ripped on by how many people. I always make comments, and I won't say some of the comments on air right now with him, but I didn't think he was a good quarterback. Now they're going to try to get rid of him. So maybe he's playing for the
only
Las
concern
Vegas
with this game
A's
is the 7.
Soon. All right, Jason, do you have where's the best play in this game?
The only concern with this game is the 7.
Would you take 6.5 minus 120?
6, I don't know. It's on Sam Howell just because it really is his first real start. And just because you have a rookie quarterback, but they were talented enough. I think they should be able to cover that.
He started against Dallas last year.
Yeah, but that was the end of the year. I don't know if Dallas didn't really play everybody. Yeah. But I'm just saying, this is the first where you're the starter.
It matters for sure. The reins, this team's yours.
But I think they're just way more talented, and that's really the only thing that hold it back is just that he doesn't play well on his first start. So
I need the crown.
Yeah, Arizona's bringing
my crown. I didn't bring my crown tonight. Okay, so real fast story here. I'll hold on the other team, but this is a game right here that I always like doing the teaser king, putting the crown on. I got to bring the crown up in the studio here and mess up my hair looks fantastic anyway in the camera tonight. But I love it. I love this game. I think you tease it down to -1. They can't lose this game.
No.
I mean, is it possible? They
play the game.
That's why you play great thing. That's why they play the game. But I
just don't see it.
I think the Commanders, I like the -6.5.
They're hyped up. It's a sold-out game. They got standing room only tickets.
Yeah.
I think Howell is going to play well.
I think that's a great point here. Let's hit on that for a minute. The crowd's going to be something they have not seen for years.
Sell the team will come back.
The atmosphere, because it's always the other team. Now, I'm not saying it would have been Arizona.
It's going to be loud.
But that place is going to be jumping.
Yeah.
That place is going to be jumping. I think the Commanders in a teaser.
That Dallas and Philly and New York Giants home field advantage is gone.
And I said it to my buddy Dave today, and he went, "You're seriously putting them in your favorite teaser of the weekend?" Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm that crazy. That's what I do. DC, the Commanders, whatever you call them, the Skins, who cares? Let's go. Get the -1, and I'll tell you who I'm going to match it with here in a little bit. All right. Hey, let's go to Dolphins San Diego because I know
That's tough.
Q's all over this game.
No, it's a stay away.
I kind of
They played an under last year.
I got 2 plays on this I kind of like. Okay, Q, so you're a stay away? You're just going to be a fan?
Yeah, but I think I would be inclined to take – I think the Chargers are the right side, objectively. It's a home game for them. They are a good team. I think you could say the same if they were in Miami. Then Miami would be the side to lay. So I'm going to stay away because I've said I don't want to bet against my team. I'd rather just sit back and not make any money versus lose money. But I do think it trends to the under, and I think the Chargers win.
Jason, you got to play on this one?
No, I don't either. I want to see the new Charger offense where they actually supposedly throw the ball down the field, and I want to see that new Miami defense with the Fangio zone concepts and everything. Because I think that's going to have a big factor in this game. Yeah, because Miami's going like complete 180 on defense. So how well do they adapt to it? But, I mean, I do like the underplay because these are kind of sneaky under teams. And like you said, whoever's at home in this game is probably the favorite who you should take. And I think that holds up here. Like if it was in Miami, it'd be the Dolphins.
They're two respectable teams.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
Yeah, they're about the same level, to be honest with you.
I don't have any official plays yet. This is one that I do have down. I kind of like San Diego. It's I think -3 right now. I do like San Diego, but I think a great play. What like you guys said, I like the under also in this game.
I would imagine Fangio's defense is going to be a little better than last year.
Is Waddle's nicked up
a little bit, but
I heard ribs.
Yeah, but he'll play.
Oh, I know he's playing, but I heard.
Yeah, I think they're all kind of.
I heard he's nicked up.
Okay, they'll have their little ailments.
All right, here. I'm just going to bounce. Like I said, you guys jump in here. I'm going to go to this game. I think Cincinnati.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, go with that.
Okay, Cincinnati, Cleveland here. Week 1, divisional game. Last time I saw, and again, I'm going off scores and odds, so guys, change it. If
-2.5 on Barstool right now.
Okay, I had -2.5 also. 47.5?
Yep.
Okay. Now, last year, these divisional games were tight. I think it's a great spot. Again, teaser. I like teasing the points up in these divisional games and take the under. And also, I like Cleveland to take Cleveland up in a teaser. Now, I also like Cleveland plus the 2.5. I'm not a biggest fan on Cleveland, but I think it's a tough spot. It sounds like Joe Burrow's going to get his money here in the next couple of days, but the guy's been out.
Yeah.
How rusty is he going to be?
Wait to play it.
Last year, right?
Even if you're on Cleveland, wait, because if they announce him, I think Cincy's going to go from -2.5 to maybe -3.5 with the announcement, and then you get a better number. Cleveland.
Yeah, that's great. Last year, Joe, I'm just going to go
sit on that game.
Steelers intercepted him about 4 or 5 times in that game. Yeah. And I think he was nicked up last year. Didn't he have like a procedure done?
It was the same exact situation. He missed all training camp with an injury. Yeah. It was his first game. He kind of
wait till noon on Sunday to put that ticket in.
Oh, it's tough to do.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to go the other way.
I think that's what you're doing the whole show. I love it.
No, but money's on the Browns. Like that's what people. That's a really popular underdog. Probably second to only one other team we'll definitely talk about here.
Oh yeah, we're going there soon here. All right, I like that. My favorite play in that I would do again. I like the Browns plus the 2.5, but I think it's a strong teaser spot, and I love jacking the points up and taking the under 6 points or whatever you can get the teaser also in this. Man, oh man, I want to hit some. Okay, so let's just go. Let's hit this game. We got San Francisco going into Pittsburgh. I think probably the best game, maybe the first.
San Francisco just got Bosa back.
Yeah, Bosa.
Monday night game's pretty good.
Yeah, the Monday night. That's where I just looked and I was like, okay, I'm going to hold that comment here. Yeah, Bosa 5 years, $170 million, I think, 122.5 guaranteed. So yeah, he's happy. I was hoping they didn't sign him and he wasn't going to play, but he'll be there. Now here's the thing: how much? I mean, the guy's in shape. I'm not saying he's not in shape, but has he been doing a ton of stuff?
Sure.
Could he be on a snap count?
For sure, him and his brother have been working out.
Probably.
I mean, they're a freak family. There's no way they weren't.
Yeah.
Chris Jones, he's not putting in the work. I think Bosa was getting his body ready.
Well, just make me feel better and say snap count. Just say snap count.
There's no snap count.
All right, snap count. Let's just go snap count. You heard it first on Notebook Wagering here.
I don't have a play on that one.
I love this game. I love it. This is okay.
Game.
Teaser King. Let's go. Steelers up 6 points. Match it with the Commanders. I love it. There's my official. I'm getting it out right now. I love it. And I think the Steelers beat San Francisco. Let's break down the Steelers the last 3 years. First week, they went back and beat the Giants. Now it's the Giants. That was the COVID year. That was the crazy year.
Yep, that was Roethlisberger's last year.
Now, 2 years ago, they went up to Buffalo. They were dogs. They beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game.
Last year, they went into Cincinnati. That was a crazy game. Big block punt that changed that entire game. Yeah. It's amazing that I can get introduced to someone 5 minutes later. I don't remember their name, but I'm remembering they blocked the punt in the Buffalo game. All right. Last year, then they go in and they intercept Burrow like 5 times. Highsmith has like 19 sacks in the game. I think he set their all-time record in one game. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. I like this spot. I like this spot. I think the Steelers beat them, but I really feel good about the teaser. Tease them up, match them with the Commanders, and guess what? You're cashing a ticket. Jason, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, actually, I like the teaser play on this. Actually, I was going to tease it up with the Browns because I do think it's going to be a low game. No, the Niners, we'll see. We'll see how good Brock Purdy is. People have some tape on him now. Steelers defense should be pretty good. A little question about the secondary, though. I'm a little worried about the 49 wide receivers getting tackled by that Steelers secondary, but that's really it. They've looked really good in the preseason. They've kind of taken the different approach where they're playing as hard as they could through the preseason and kind of like trying to run into the season ready to go. I think because of this game, honestly, because it is such a good opponent to start. But yeah, plus 8.5 sounds a lot better. The plus 2.5 scares me because everybody's on this. Like, this is one of those games where there's still a dog, but like everybody loves the Steelers this week with the points at home because there's a bunch of metrics where Tomlin kills as a home dog, and
I think they're better on the road than they are at home. I think they play better on the road.
No.
Oh, I think that home crowd is. I think they play.
That's true.
I think they play better. I think Tomlin gets them more motivated on the road. I just don't think they're fantastic at home. Like you think of a team with and they have great fans. It's packed.
I don't know, man. They do play pretty well at home, though.
Yeah, I think they usually have a pretty bad loss on the road to somebody they shouldn't lose to. So
I like when they go on the road and they're dogs. 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. I like it. One other stat I saw in the X. I want to always say Twitter, but it's the X. You got TJ Watt. When he's back, they only give up about 16 points when he's out 25. So he's going to be playing. That's a big thing here. So, hey, I want to give out let's talk this game really fast. We got a couple minutes, so let's just try to bounce out a couple games. And I want to give Joe Osborne. Who's he working for? I really like his stuff.
I don't know.
Okay. Jason will find it here. He gave out, let's go Colts here. You got Richardson. You got your guy from Florida quarterbacking, but he gave out a great thing on the X last night. Wrote it down there. 1-13-1 ATS last 15 week 1 games. The Colts.
I just think Jacksonville is just so much more of a mature team. You've got the Jonathan Taylor not playing saga. Richardson, it's his first major start, first career start in the NFL. Regular season. Trevor Lawrence is seasoned. You've got some good weapons down there. Great coach. 5's a little weird of a number.
It is weird.
That to me, I don't know. I think you could tease it either way, but I think if you did like a 2-team money line, I think Jacksonville's the way to go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for the rookie. I really do with no Taylor. I agree with you. Who's
he got?
Yeah, you got Pittman. But, I mean, how great's he going to throw the ball? I mean, he wasn't accurate in.
T.Y. Hilton's not there.
I mean, they gave a great thing on Twitter. They said they had an off day and he was in the facility for 8 hours looking at film. I mean, that's great.
That's a good story.
Good, and good for the kid. I mean, good for him to put work in. Some guys,
it's just a tough team to
Johnny
start
Manziel wasn't looking at any film, so good for that kid to be looking at film. So, really quick here.
I have a great game.
Okay, go for it.
Second favorite game. Storyline to it. Aaron Rodgers says he owns the state of Illinois, owns the Chicago Bears.
He does.
Not week 1. The Bears get it back with Green Bay not having Rodgers. Home game, division game, primetime game. And I think Chicago did one hell of a job upgrading their team. They've given Justin Fields the weapons. Who does Green Bay have? You lost Lazard. You lost your best player in the last 20 years. There's no Adams. They got Aaron Jones and Jordan Love.
I kind of think they're going to be okay. I like Minnesota in that division.
Well, I'm not worried about the division. I'm worried about
I know. I'm just saying.
Chicago -1 at home to open the season.
Sunday, man. I want some money in my pocket.
Jesus, you're getting ahead of yourself.
I'm thinking out loud.
Seriously, how does the whole thing of he owns them, which he did. I'm not disparaging that. I'm not taking anything away from that. But you don't think there's not motivation now to say, you know what? You just lost your guy.
It depends.
You're coming home.
It just depends on how Fields plays.
DJ Moore.
I agree. I think it's a great point. I think they have upgrade. Oh, dude, don't say Claypool.
I'm just saying he's going to be open because you can't cover DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and all these guys. I couldn't believe
Jess that's coming in studio next had him on her top 5 or 10 hottest guys in the NFL.
Objectively, how do you cover DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Claypool and Cole Kmet at the same time?
I just think
somebody's going to be open.
I think a Chase Claypool of just playing, not his looks. He couldn't play.
I think he'll play motivated.
Okay.
Is he playing though? Because he was out all preseason.
No, he's kind of out.
I don't see on that. But he's going to play good for the first 4 and then do his little BS. But
all right, hey, let's do
the Bears -1.
Hey Q, I like it's -1. I kind of like it too. Let's bounce to the Monday night game and then we can rapid fire. I got old man in the garage picks. I got another really good stat line before we get out. We got about 4 minutes here. We got the Bills going into playing the Jets. You got Aaron Rodgers here. Man, oh man. I'm high on this Jets team. I mean, they were good last year, and they didn't have a quarterback.
They're good, and I think the Buffalo Bills are on the verge of trouble.
I do, too. I agree with you. And I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy. I like him. I think...
You're telling me he doesn't want to win his first game as a Jet?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely here. So I got a good stat I'm going to throw out here in a second with Josh Applebaum that works at VEASAN and everything here. I'll do about the primetime games here. But if I have to take this, man, give me the Jets, give me the points, maybe give me the money line. Jason,
right now
what do you
it's
got?
+2.5.
2.5? Okay.
Over under 46.5. I'd like to see that get up to 3 just to take the cover, but I think the Jets win it. I think the money line is the
money
play.
line. I like it, too.
+120.
All right, Jason, what do you got in this one?
Yeah, just defense is the best unit in the game. And Bills don't have anybody to rush the passer. And like you said, I agree with you. Bills are in trouble. All new coordinators, all new everything, right? And going into the road, going to be in. You talk about a nasty crowd. Who's more excited than the Jets fans right now?
Oh my God,
and like
they're
you said,
Super
Rodgers
Bowl bound. In their eyes,
Rodgers with a little chip on his shoulder because everybody's telling him he's washed up. I can definitely see them coming out the first game and playing really well there. And the Bills kind of having a little bit setback because of all the things that have been going on. So yeah, no, I really like that game.
Diggs, I'll tell you right now, Diggs will be locked up. Sauce Gardner will have Diggs locked up all game.
And then who else is there really for them? Tight ends are okay. I mean, it's really Josh Allen running around
for sure.
That's lots of guys to chase him. So
sure.
I guess
Williams will be in that
backfield game.
Yeah, I like that. A +120 money line on the Jets. I think they get it done.
All right, real quick before we do Old Man in the Garage and the stat from Josh Applebaum here. Any other games? I'm looking at the Falcons, guys. I kind of like them.
I don't know what to expect from that team.
I think they'll run the ball well. I don't like the quarterback. I like their defense against a rookie guy on the road.
Two bad teams.
On the road. Oh, I don't think the Falcons are going to be that bad. I think if they play defense and they can run the ball.
It's a week I got to see what the teams look like.
I like the Falcons. That's one I might be playing here.
I don't like that hook, though.
No, the hook's never good. The hook's never good. I might go money line. I mean, if it's a little bit of juice, I'll take a chance.
And if
-190. Is it -190? No, I'm not doing -190. So that's crazy. I didn't see that. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Everybody's taking the money line because they agree.
I mean, come on now.
I don't know. It's a two for me. It's a pass.
That's a pass for me.
And I know you're a little higher on the Falcons, but I just got to see what they are.
I'm probably going to take the Falcons here. See where the line goes here. All right, real quick. Old Man in the Garage. He's been with us. He gives out money line dogs. Does pretty well. He has 3. Now, if he goes 0-3, I got to tell him in the cul-de-sac to slow it down and get a winner here next week. But here we go.
He struggled last year.
What's that?
He struggled last year a little bit.
He was kind of up and down a little bit. Up and down. The year before
he came on late.
The year before he was on fire.
He came on really late. He did come on really late at the end. Okay, he has Steelers. He likes the Steelers. Of course, we're Steelers fans. We're going to take it. It's like we're Q talking about Florida right here. We love the Steelers here. All right, he loves Jets, Jets.
I like that.
Also on that, we both like that one.
Yep.
I like this one too. I like the Giants, especially in a teaser, but he likes them to beat Dallas. I think the Giants, that's another division.
The Giants are a team I got to see what they are, too.
I like the Giants.
Especially on offense.
I'm not sold on that Dallas team. So.
They have Barkley. Who else do they have? That's what I mean.
Daniel Jones running.
That's it. Yeah, I got to see what their offense is.
I think at a teaser spot it's good. I don't know about an upset, but I think that game's closer. I think it's a close game. So he has Steelers, Jets, and Giants. Let me throw out this Josh Applebaum that works for VEASAN. Very talented guy. The last 4 seasons, primetime games. So you have 3 primetime games this week. You got the Lions, Kansas City, Dallas Jets, Bills Jets game. Dogs or 117.88 ATS. That's 57%. 122.80 on the under in those games, 60%. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I like that.
And if you want to use that, that guy is talented. He really looks into his numbers and stuff. I really like looking at his information. But that's week 2 in college football. That is week 1 in the NFL, guys. And man, what a great time to talk football and talk
This is
sports.
our season.
Yeah, this is it, man.
This is it. This is what we live for.
So, again, thanks for tuning in. Everybody, check us out. Tune in live. Give us plays. I'd love to see the board blowing up with people's thoughts for the week in college football.
Yeah, NFL. Call in. Give us some plays, what you like. We'll talk. If it's not a game and you see it, we'll talk about that game.
Yeah, and if we don't like it, we'll ignore it.
Yeah, we'll just ignore you.
But everybody, Jason, any last comments before we bail here?
Nah, not really.
All right. Man of many words right there, everybody. Q, anything?
Now we got to get out of the studio. Jess is getting ready to beat down the door. She wants her airwaves.
Her airwaves. Okay, we're going to let her in. Everybody, thanks again.
No, we're not. We're going round 2.
We're going round 2. We're going to break down the Canadian Football League, everybody. Now, thanks for tuning in. Until next week. Q, what do we always say?
Bang your bookies.
Thanks for listening to the Notebook Wagering Podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and be sure to follow @Notebook Wagering. Until next time.